Hi, Richard Coughlin 666. How are you? And I wanted to talk about a quick subject. It's something that has bothered me for a while and irritated me, and I just wanted to get it off my chest. And it's surrounding the two issues of drugs and guns. Not them specifically, but more to do with the rhetoric that we use and the way we form our opinions of them in a general sort of public forum. The problem with rhetoric is, whilst it's not always incorrect, the problem with it is it's generally something that is used in soundbite form by media and is picked up by most human beings who don't want to actually do the research and look into what the actual issue or what their opinion could be if they knew a little bit more than they already did. Most conversation is based on opinion, and most people's opinion tends to be standard rhetoric. Now, there's two statements you'd have heard with drugs and guns. When someone dies as a result of either. Whenever someone dies of drugs, it's always drugs kill, drugs are evil, drugs are bad, drugs kill, this man was killed by drugs. Okay. But when someone gets shot, or when someone goes on a shooting rampage, and when anyone dies or is killed or is murdered as the result of a firearm, the standard line is always, guns don't kill people, people do. Well, I say you can't have it both ways. You can't suddenly sit there and blame drugs for killing one person and then not blame the gun. You can't at the same time blame the gun and then not blame the drugs. The fact is, both of these things are inaccurate, and they come from and are based upon a simple premise, which is that human beings will always try and create the reality that makes them both happy. And that's the thing about rhetoric, particularly surrounding these two. Both of these forms of rhetoric, they come from the basic human instinct that both sides of the argument have to want to feel right. The anti-drug people love the drugs kill line because it demonises the drug and gives them more of a platform to try and speak out against them. And the pro-drug people, they love that line too because it removes all responsibility from them. It takes away all the blame and it takes away all the guilt. They can't be blamed for it. It was the drugs that killed them. And it's the same with the rhetoric for the gun people. The pro-gun people love that the guns don't kill people, people do. That makes them, can't, it's not the gun's fault, you can't blame the gun. But then the anti-gun people, they use that line too to try and justify as to why people shouldn't have them in the first place. Of course, the fact is, drugs have never killed anyone. Drugs are an inanimate object. They cannot move, think, they cannot conceive, they're not sentient beings. Cannot pick something up, cannot talk to someone, it cannot convince someone of anything, it cannot kill you. But with guns, it's the same thing. No gun has ever specifically killed someone, it's not the gun's fault. The fact is, they're both wrong, and we should stop using them in arguments because they do nothing but just pander to our own insecurities and our own need to feel like we are the right one. The fact is this, drugs don't kill people. People who pick them up and put them in their bodies can be killed by them. Guns don't kill people, but people who want to kill people can use a gun, and if so, are more likely to be successful than if they used a spatula. Obviously, neither of those two run off the tongue quick enough for them to be picked up by soundbite media, but I think you got the general idea. This is Richard Coughlin 666 saying good night, may God be blessed.